You are listening to the Joyce Aldrich Show from Toronto, Canada. Paranormal and UFO edition. Yes, we call them UFOs.
Starlight, star bright, first star I see tonight, might be Venus or some unknown light, hovering a bit too low tonight. The lightning, sheet lightning, where's the balloon? Or something strange out of a five-star cartoon.
Oh, welcome to another edition of the Joyce Aldrich Show. And tonight we have a really great treat for you. Someone who's a wonderful spiritual teacher. She's a world-renowned psychic, and she's going to share her profound journey that's behind her newest book, Mysteries Revealed Beyond Mortal Boundaries. And we're in for an incredible time with her because she is well known in the psychic world. She is a world-renowned psychic, and after surviving a life-altering stroke, she experienced extraordinary insights into the nature of consciousness, healing, and the unseen realms beyond our physical world. And her story is one of resilience, divine revelation, and spiritual awakening, offering hope and guidance to anyone seeking to understand the deeper mysteries of existence. So I want to welcome, this is Elizabeth Joyce. Thank you so much for joining us here on the program today.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
Oh, it's absolutely my pleasure. So, you know, this Mysteries Revealed book, it is not just a book, it's a handbook. And you ask three very important questions here. What happens after death? Where does the soul truly come from? And why are we here now at this point in human history? And as we know, what's going on in the world right now is people are scared. And so how do you address that?
It's difficult to be scared when so many nations are crumbling, and we are going through all nations crumbling because that's the old order. The only way to get through it is trust. Trust the universe. Trust that you're cared for. Trust that you're here for a reason. And if you meditate, go to your blessed higher self, and you will be guided. That's natural law.
That's natural law. Yeah, to go, we were talking about going within to solve problems without. And yeah. So what inspired you to write Mysteries Revealed?
I've been wanting to write this book for at least 3 years. Mm-hmm. I've had a lot of direct spiritual experiences, and I've studied, and I've gone through my own transformation, as we all do when we live our life. Mm. But there's been moments when ordinary explanation fails us. And Mystery Reveals brings us the truth that has always existed within us, but it's been hidden by fear. Mm.
Yes.
The veil of forgetting. You know, there's the story about the 3 angels that went to God, and they asked God how to get closer to him and how to trust. And God said, well, he hid something. Mm. He hit something on the earth, and they were to guess what it was. So the first one said, well, you hid it at the bottom of the ocean. And he said, no, I didn't do that. The second angel said, you hid it at the top of a mountain. And he said, no, that's not the place. And the third angel said, you had to hide it in the clouds. And he said, no, that's not right either. I hid it within each person. Mm. And that's the way out. The way in is the way out, and the way out is the way in.
Well,
it speaks to your soul's eternal nature when you meditate. Life does not begin with birth or end in death. The truth reflects the desire to reveal what the soul has already known and has forgotten.
You know, in Judaism, we're taught that an angel teaches us all the universal laws when we're in utero, and then they sort of tap you on the top, on the lip. That's why we get the little indentation on our lip. And then we come out and we forget it, but we don't really forget it. We really still have that within us. It's just to be revealed throughout that lifetime.
That's true. And your astrological chart shows you the life. It's your passport to the universe. The astrological chart is wonderful. What a guide.
It
'Cause
is.
it's the energy that you're going to live through.
I recommend, a lot of people go, we go to psychiatrists, psychologists, and doctors to find out, what's going on with us. I really think they should all be looking at everyone's astrological charts in those appointments and become, adept at reading those, because I think a lot of people's problems would be solved a lot faster if that was done.
Well, Carl Jung, Carl Jung?
Yeah.
He was an astrologer in the 30s, 1930s.
Oh, I didn't know
And
that.
he thought that everybody that had the same moon would have harmony. Like if you had a Pisces moon and I had a Pisces moon, but your moon is in Scorpio. It is a water sign, and I have a Pisces moon. So we would be in harmony. He said if you went by that in your working environment, then you wouldn't have the upsets and fights and backstabbing that we're all taught to have.
Yeah.
So I started writing. My cousin died. He was the oldest cousin in our family, so he was the matriarch, and he died over Labor Day. And that's when I started writing this book. I started writing it Labor Day, and I published it on Halloween. That's amazing.
And it is. That is amazing. That's like hardly any time at all.
It came in like a bullet. I had to write every day. I couldn't do anything else. It was in my body. So I was getting the answer to my prayer all at the same time.
And is that available to all of us to be able to be able to access that?
Be ready for it. You have to be ready for it. You never know when that's going to happen, and you can't avoid it when it does happen. But you have to be ready for it. I had that book cover, who's done one of my favorite artists. I had that book cover in 2018, and I was going to write the book back then, but I wasn't ready. I had to go through a lot of things first.
Right. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm just looking at my computer just to digress a little bit. It says your battery's very low, but that's not true. I'm all plugged in here, so I'm just checking my my plugs again. Hold on a second.
You never know with Uranus where it is. It's a Uranus tower moment.
I know. I have several tower moments in a day. Let me tell you. That's really weird. My computer I've got to get a new computer in this fall. But anyway, it's just fine. It's fine. We'll just we're just going to be okay with this. So we talk about the veil. What is the veil? Because we hear about it.
The veil is it's like a membrane, but it's between the other world and our world. We have the earth and we have the earth plane, and the veil is between the known and the unknown, the heaven and the earth, as we've been taught. It brings us a spiritual amnesia as we enter birth. It allows us to experience life fully as humans without worrying about our other lives or our eternal origins. It enables us to grow. It also can make life feel frightening, isolated, and meaningless, because if you don't meditate and bring in the inner sunshine, then you don't feel life the way you can to grow. But the veil helps us live to a greater purpose and compassion and spiritual awareness while still in the body, because not many of us have compassion and spiritual awareness.
That's very true. It's amazing what a lack of compassion and empathy there is on the planet, and it's astounding to me actually, but not, and a lot of things have got to change on this planet so that we can go into that golden age, I suppose. And when you talk about the golden age, people find that's like a panacea or something, but it isn't.
We're on our way to it.
Yeah, exactly.
My first novel I just finished this week, called Caught at the Edge, talks about the golden age and how to get there and how we got there.
Okay.
The golden age is going to be that 1,000 years of peace that's in the Bible, that the Lord said would come after we conquered evil. So right now we're in a struggle between good and evil, love and fear.
Yes, and it's actually been revealed in a lot of different faiths, about that time when we will not have the kind of suffering we have now, whether it's a Messiah, a Mashiach, or a gold, whatever it is, that's coming.
Well, let's just call it the great unknown, the great divine.
Yes.
And it's non-identifiable.
That makes it easier.
There are traditional chakras, the 7 chakras. However, we have 14 chakras, and they were given to me in 2014. And these are the higher spiritual chakras. I write about them in Mysteries Revealed, and I did write a book about them in 2014, but the picture of them is in Mysteries Revealed. As you read, you'll get to the picture of the new chakras. Actually, and they matter now because they're being asked to live not just as individuals, but as a conscious participant with a larger spiritual reality. We're about to realize that there are life on other planets.
Yes.
And that we can communicate with them through meditation. Surprise.
Surprise. Going within to see without and into, and it's so important because, now Congress is, the U.S. Congress is, of course, looking into all of this. They're trying to, with the whole idea of disclosure. And I've mentioned to lots of people that I've had contact experiences, as some, and my mother, and different, lots of people have had contact experiences with these entities.
Out-of-body experiences.
I beg your pardon?
You mean out-of-body experiences?
Yeah, well, you know what? That's an interesting thing, because when a person has contact with, whether they're extraterrestrials, whatever the beings are from different planets or multidimensional beings, is that an out-of-body experience that we're having, or
No,
are they taking us completely?
Not necessarily. That would be called a sacred contact.
Oh.
A sacred contract would be receiving information from off the planet.
Oh.
But an out-of-body experience is when you take your double, your blessed higher self, your double, and that leaves the physical body and can go elsewhere by thought, by telepathy.
Wow.
That's the difference between the two.
You've had a lot of spiritual experiences, and lots, all kinds. So what, too many for this program, but what ones actually shaped the ones that you reveal in this book, the one that's going to help us to get to that space, at least some kind of space where we can tolerate what's happening around us?
Well, in Hawaii in 1987, I was on a retreat. And I went out of my body for 3 days.
Wow.
Luckily, I was with people that understood, protected me, and allowed it, because they knew that I was having a spiritual healing. And I was taken through 3 universes. I was made aware of this. And then I went up through 7 rings of light, which were the colors of the chakras. And then I saw beyond that the location or loca, L-O-C-A, loca of all the divine masters. And I met Mentor, who now is my guide. And it was amazing. We were on a glass floor where we could see the entire universe, and we could use this floor as a telescope to bring up the planet and see what was going on that planet. So I saw the planet Earth from a very high viewpoint. And I learned about the 3 different universes, and that we are in the first universe, the planet Earth is.
Okay.
And that's the universe of double trouble.
Oh.
That's the universe of the lowest vibrations, which would be hate and fear. And we struggle to leave it so we can go higher. And that's the journey of the soul, which really is beautiful love. It's a deep challenge. And to be in the body always serves our soul growth. And when we understand this, we can release blame and difficult relationships, and they can become opportunities for soul expansion when we really know what's going on.
Am I? Oh, how do we lasso people? Not that we can't lasso people. What's it gonna take? What's it actually going to take on this planet for people to wake up and say, I got to do something different?
When they realize that they're being self-centered and only thinking of their pain instead of looking at why another person does something. I'm going to tell you a story.
Okay.
Back in 2020, I'm sorry.
Oh, I like the 1920s, but 2020 is almost, we're going through a lot of what they did through 100 years ago. Yes, your story, though, 2020.
Yes, I was moving to New Hampshire. I'm in my grandfather's house. He built it. My mother was born in his house. And I was in the middle of refurbishing it, totally upgrading it. And I had a contractor, and he stole $25,000 from me.
Oh.
So I went to a lawyer. He wouldn't take the case. I went to the district attorney, and they wouldn't take the case because they said it wasn't enough money to worry about. How would you feel about it? So what did I do next? I went inside myself, and I asked why did this come to my being, and what was my lesson? How did I bring this to myself, and what was my lesson? Those were the 2 questions that Louise Hay had everybody in her group ask. And it was amazing, the answer. I got taken back to the 12th century, to when I knew him, and to what happened. And it was a karmic debt. And that made me able to forgive it.
Yeah, because it was paid.
Yep.
And Louise Hay was one of your teachers.
Yes.
Can you tell me about that?
Oh, she was wonderful. I met her, we both modeled, and she modeled in New York, and she had a meditation group that I would go to, and she passed out these little blue books that had the parts of the body listed and what emotional thought caused the illness, because she said every illness begins with a thought. That's amazing. It's true. But
it's true. Amazing. It's true. Like a stiff knee is this and that.
And then she became more widely known, and we had the AIDS breakout in the 80s. She helped by doing the hayrides. She did hayrides in the Village, New York City, and out in California, Hollywood. So I would fly between New York and California. I did this for 5 years. And the healers, which I was one of them, would put up body tables in the back of the room, and we would be very quiet and we wouldn't say a word. And anybody that wanted to have a healing could come and lay down on the table, and we would work with their energy. It was really beautiful.
Oh, I can't imagine. I can imagine, but actually, I used to. I sold her books in my metaphysical bookstore when I had one, and yeah, no, she was. I really love what she taught. Absolutely, about the physical, being a
You can heal
manifestation.
your life. That was her book.
Yeah, that's
And
right.
You Can Heal Your Life is in 10 different languages,
Mm-hmm.
and she sold millions of that book.
No, I sold a few for her, and wonderful, wonderful. So you talked about the new chakras, and that's fascinating. And I have seen the chart. I did look that up, and things have changed a little bit with the. We think about the chakras, the way they roll, but what's the difference now?
Well, it's not a difference. It's an addition. Because when your eighth chakra opens, you become psychic, you become telepathic,
Mm-hmm.
and you have an awareness that you're not here alone, that
Mm.
you're a part of everybody else. And that if you hit somebody, the world feels it. And if you kiss somebody, the world feels it.
Mm.
It's like a tapestry. You know a tapestry?
Yes, yes.
Pull out a thread.
Many
It
threads, different colors.
If you pull out a thread, the tapestry collapses.
Mm.
That's how important a life is. It's part of the whole, even the bad guys.
It's all part of one tapestry.
It's an awakening. Humanity, the collective, is awakening now. And what's happening on Earth is everything is accelerating. We're going faster than the speeding bullet.
Are we as powerful as a locomotive though to get through it? That's what I want to know.
Absolutely.
We got to get that
The
power.
whole system is breaking down because they no longer support our soul's evolution.
Mm.
People are questioning authority.
Right.
They're questioning identity and reality itself. It's not a collapse. It's a transformation.
Mm.
We're waking up. We're seeing where we were lied to. We're seeing what people are doing to better themselves or get money.
Mm-hmm.
And we're seeing that we can choose heart-centered work and love during the transition.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing what's going on.
When you talk about heart-centered work and love, there are so many different occupations, but anything that we attempt can be heart-centered work with love.
You know what's amazing that people aren't aware of?
Yeah.
You can send energy to somebody else sitting in your living room, and they'll get it.
Yeah, the good, the bad, and the ugly.
I had a great teacher named Frank Alper. He was with the Arizona Metaphysical Society, and he told us a lot about sending energy and how to do it and how to acknowledge it, and you can feel it.
That is, I think that's a whole program to have you back talking about that.
Yeah, well, sending energy is like plugging in your refrigerator. You plug into the other person. And especially when they're sick, that's why prayer works, especially if there's a lot praying for one person. When the churches go and they pray on somebody's bedside, that person can feel it.
Yes. Well, I know we have at our shul, we have a tefillin group that I'm part of, and we will say psalms, for people, and everybody joins in, and yeah, it does work. You're right.
Yeah, I mean those psalms, I love them. Are just they're like affirmations. Louise Hay used affirmations.
Yeah.
And of course they work too. Because when three or more are gathered in my name, there is love.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. No, it's true that not safety in numbers, but definitely strength in numbers. Absolutely. And that's another thing. People have a lot of fears, and
Mhm.
one fear that many people have. I mean, we don't fear being birthed, being born, because we just don't have that awareness. We just come out, But
Your mother fears it, not you.
exactly. Oh yeah, that's for sure. But when it comes to dying, and I tell people, like, and I reiterate this, that death is not. It's like death is like moving from Toronto to Montreal. It's not. You're not dead. You just move. You just transition. You move to another place. Now, what would you say about that crossing over that we do?
As in my book, it's the last chapter. It's transition, and it's a passage rather than an ending.
Exactly.
Let go of your attachments here on earth to be able to open up to another experience wherever you go. First universe, second universe, wherever you're evolving to. In my house are many mansions. Well, the mansions is your vibration, your frequency. And you have to, that's my baby.
Oh,
You are drawn to your own frequency identification. Remember, I told you about Carl Jung
yes,
and the moon?
yes.
The moon is the frequency. Pisces is the frequency. Leo has the frequency. So does Taurus. So does Scorpio. They have their own frequency.
Yes.
All of them that are at the same will come together and form a great big ball of energy. And that's what it is. And then you get with the Council of Nine. Now, the Council of Nine has been talked about in every religion, talked about by the monks in Tibet, by Yogananda Ji, by Yogi Bhajan, by the Holy Mother in India. That's who you sit with after death to choose life again. Even Edgar Casey talks about the Council of Nine.
Yeah. Well, there's that life review that we go through.
We go through that at the end. We let go of this life and we look at our lessons, and we're shown which ones ascended us and which ones we flunked.
Yeah. And what would we have to come back and work on?
That's how you get your next astrological chart set up. Because the ones you didn't pass are the ones you'll redo in your next lifetime.
Oh my. And what was I going to say? It wasn't a lie. My grandmother used to say if you couldn't remember it, it was a lie. But it was about she used to say to twist my tongue around my mouth 7 times too before I said something, so she knew something about me. But exactly. And with the astrological chart, it's very important for people to know where they're at. It will come back to me what I was thinking about, but certainly, yeah. And let's talk a little bit about sacred contracts then, okay? Because you talked a little bit about it, what a sacred contract is before, and how they influence our relationships and all that kind of thing.
So we're going to take a break here, and we'll pick up at sacred contract. But I mean, let her out, okay?
Okay.
Come on, Ellie.
Oh.
Thank you for letting me do that.
No, that's okay. I have a cat that usually jumps up on my table. He's my co-producer, and usually meowing by this time. But I made sure I gave him an early dinner, so
that works.
So far it has. But if he meows, he's just part of the scene, sometimes. But yeah, no, we talked about soul contracts and sacred contracts. and soul
Let me
bonds.
tell you about that, because the people don't really understand it.
No, I'm barely understanding it in some ways. But I know
What
soul contracts,
happens
but not
again is
sacred.
vibration. It's vibration, and it's energy.
Okay.
So you have something that you have to heal from past life. Let's say you were an alcoholic father that beat your kids in a past life. This time you'll be brought in as the kid that gets beaten, so you can learn. So as we grow up and we go through jobs and meeting people and relationships, we don't know who we're going to meet or where. When you say it's destiny, like the girl in Australia goes to a conference in New York, and the guy in Ottawa, Canada, goes to a conference in New York, and they meet and get married. And that's fate. That's because they had the same vibration. Hers was in Australia, but she met him by chance in New York.
But nothing's
He
by
had the
chance.
same vibration, and that's the magnet that you feel. That's what brings them together. That's the vibration center. And when you meet somebody like that, it's very hard. You can't unmeet them, you know, whether you follow through or not with the consciousness. You can't unmeet them. It's a wonderful thing. And there are people that come into our life that are sent by vibration to help us grow, to help us get stronger, to help us find out more about what this is all about, and about the new heart center and the higher vibrations. And that's what's going to save us as we go through this pull, this energetic pull.
Yeah, and we're flying through it, like you said. It's like faster than a speeding, bullet.
Faster than a speeding bullet, but we won't be out of it until we get to the 50s or 60s, 2050. We got a lot to go through. This era that we're coming into now is brand new. We've never had this energy on the planet before.
Yeah, astrologically, it's unreal. It's unreal.
We have never had Saturn and Uranus and Neptune together the way they are now. We have the big reset in February. That's when Saturn and Neptune conjunct at 0 degrees Aries. And the only time we've ever had a record of that before is in the beginning. In the beginning, God created the earth.
Wow.
The only time we've ever had this before. So there's nothing recorded about experience or what happened. We're all going to find out. But we're all going into an entirely new consciousness. And we need to kind of prepare for it. How do you prepare for it?
Yeah.
Well, you got to be willing to let go of the past, to increase your empathy, your sensitivity, and your intuitive awareness. And you have to have a desire for the truth. Stay in your truth and have a desire for the truth. Now, I said that 2026 was going to be a year where we would never know the real truth. You wanted me to talk about 26.
Yes, thank you.
Well, we've just come into it. We will February 20th, and it won't complete until May, the newness of it. But we're going to find out about new things that have all new energy. We're going to have lots of AI, which can be very dangerous or very helpful. But we have to learn to live with integrity and to remain open rather than fearful. Don't say I'm afraid of something. Say I haven't experienced that yet. You hear how that changes?
So it completely changes things, because just because you haven't experienced it, how can you be afraid of something that hasn't happened yet?
How can you hate somebody that you've never met?
Exactly. Yeah.
You only When you hate somebody that you've never met, you're living on gossip.
Mm-hmm.
You're living on what you heard other people say.
Yeah.
So the human mind really has to grow and understand the non-physical realms, that these spaces exist as states of consciousness, and that the soul can access them beyond the body.
Mm-hmm.
And you had intuition, haven't you?
Yes. Oh, man, all the time. I have to say, yes. I intuit a lot of stuff, and I'm listening to it a lot more than I did before.
Well, you know, there was a story that was true in New York.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I grew up. A mother was sleeping, and her daughter lived on the other side of the city.
Mm-hmm.
And at 2 o'clock in the morning, she felt her daughter in the bedroom with her, crying and asking for help. So she got up, went across town to her daughter's apartment, walked in, and a painting that had a glass front was over the bed and had fallen on top of her daughter and cut her. Now, if the mother hadn't gone there, the daughter would have bled out.
Oh.
But she went there on her intuition. She totally trusted it. That's the example that I use to show us how the divine works to save a life.
Yeah.
And it happened. There wasn't any hesitation. There wasn't any questioning, should I go, should I not go? There was just go.
Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, I've heard other stories like that, and they're so phenomenal, but it's possible for us to have this.
But it happens every day in life.
We just don't, we're just not paying attention to it. So we need to pay attention more.
We have to recognize it.
Mm-hmm. For what it is.
I have another person that I know that has low energy because he doesn't believe in spirit.
Mm-hmm.
And his wife died.
Mm-hmm.
She was in the hospital. She had cancer. And he woke up at 4 a.m.
Yeah.
And he wanted to go to the hospital. But logic came in and stopped him. And of course, that's the minute that she died.
Oh.
But he didn't realize that.
No.
So he waited and went back in the morning, and she had already crossed. That's an example of not listening to it.
Mm.
He thinks about that now, and of course he regrets it.
Of course. Of course. He should have gone on his intuition to go to the hospital, and he would have been with her.
But we are entering a new consciousness, and we are entering a new memory, and we're going to be able to remember some of our past lives. We're going to be able to go up to our book of life. Do you know our book of life? And do you know the Akashic records?
Yes, absolutely. I do. And so you're talking about, so, you know, people go, I went for a regression, hypnotic regression for, past lives type of things, to find out what my past lives were. But can we actually remember them without a regression? Like, how do we recognize that?
You really have to meditate on it, like I did with the man that took my money.
Right. Sit there and
everything was being stopped. The lawyer wouldn't take it. The officials wouldn't do anything. So there had to be a reason that happened, and there had to be a reason that they wouldn't do anything.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to know the reason, and the reason was that it was a karmic debt.
Mm-hmm.
So there was nothing I could do anywhere that would have gotten the money back. The only way that money can come back to me is if the person who took it decides to return it.
Mm-hmm. It's a very intricate tapestry, not just the life that we're living now, but all the lifetimes that we've ever lived on this planet, intertwined with everyone in what we say, the first universe, second universe, third universe even. Do we go from, I know this is not in I just need to ask, when you talk about the first, second, and third universe, can you go from the third to the one to the two to the
You
three?
wouldn't want to.
Or does it have to be one, then two, then three as you advance with your soul
I
development?
would think that it would have to be 1 and 2 and 3 because you don't go back down into negativity.
No.
If you went to a restaurant and had a dinner and threw up, would you go back to that restaurant?
No.
There's your answer.
Yeah, when you're high, when you're more developed, you say, I don't want to go there. and that's in life as well, Elizabeth.
Well, that doesn't fit my vibration.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How does that sound? It makes it simple, doesn't it?
It does. It really, really does.
It's like it doesn't fit my vibration. It's not in harmony with me.
Mm-hmm. No, it's not. It's not. And as we start to collectively awaken, we're going to be recognizing that a whole lot more, right, on this planet. Like, is that
Absolutely? You know, the new kids, they're walking at 5 months, at 7 months now.
Mm.
And the 3-year-old looked at her mother and she said, you know, in our past life, I was your mother, so you better listen to me.
Mm.
I mean, this is what's going on. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Just have to understand it and adjust to it. So these next years are going to bring that to us, especially after we have the new beginning. What's going on right this second in 2026
Mm-hmm.
is that we are finishing up letting go of anything that's not in harmony with us, whether it's your mother, your father, your sister, or your brother,
Yeah.
the mailman, the person, you know, and you might even have to move because it's not in harmony with you.
Yeah.
Then after the 20th of February, at the Great Reset, we're going to reassemble our life. We're going to readjust our energies
Mm-hmm.
and go towards what I call success and fulfillment, soul fulfillment. And it will be different. It's a whole different energy than what we have now. The reassurance that I'm giving people is that the connection never disappears. It can change.
Mm-hmm.
Just like you wear a tennis outfit to play tennis and you wear a bathing suit to go swimming. It can change, but it's very simple. It's not anything to fear.
No.
We fear the unknown, something we have never experienced before. But when we trust that we're going there because of our soul growth, that takes away the fear and gives you an opportunity to connect, to go to another direction, to grow, and to move forward.
And you've said that fear is actually a teacher.
Absolutely. When you get over the fear, you'll see it's a teacher.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because because what is it in our experience that's making us fearful, whether it's this lifetime or another lifetime? Yeah, absolutely.
Well, this year, our dreams and intuition and some of our conscious living are going to bring fragments in, and your memory will return.
Oh.
And you'll remember, oh, I knew you in a past life, or I had that experience before. Maybe you won't understand it completely, but we won't have anything called blame. And we can even see through difficult relationships.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see the other person, which is interesting, because there was somebody I wanted to be friends with when I came here to Warner.
Mm-hmm.
But there was no connection. There was no response. And I went in and I asked why. And it was because I was told because they were cheap with their energy and shallow, and they didn't fit with my vibration.
Uh-huh.
So I looked at it and I said, that person has more soul growth to do. And I sent them love and I sent them energy to enable it.
And were you able to become friends after that, or would you just let that go?
Well, you let it go and you realize that if there's going to be a friendship, it will be after they grow.
Huh.
I mean, in the end of friendship, you know how you end things with intense words and you say things that you don't mean. That did not happen.
Okay.
What happened was understanding and acceptance. And it's not easy, but we have to do it. This is part of what we're coming into, a new humanity.
A kinder and a gentler humanity with empathy.
Absolutely. And that's what my book is about. Mysteries Revealed.
Now, Mysteries Revealed, let's stop for a moment. They can get it on Amazon?
Yes.
Okay, so it's Mysteries Revealed, and that's Elizabeth Joyce. So please go there. I will be putting the links in the description box of this podcast so people can go there and get it and read it, the whole book. And tell me how you've set it up, because you've set it up in tidbits.
I did. I set it up so that the young people who aren't readers could enjoy it and get something out of it.
Mm-hmm.
I set up chapters with subjects who can look at the table of contents, and I put in little blurbs about. I'm sorry about my speech.
No, you're
Little
fine.
blurbs
You're fine.
about what each chapter was about, so
Mhm.
you can just read a chapter.
Mhm.
If you keep it by your bed and it stays there for a month, and then all of a sudden you have a bad day, you can go look up your subject and read just that 2 or 3 pages with the meditation.
Mhm.
And there's a meditation at the end of every chapter to help you through that emotion.
It sounds like a great book, a great gift. You know, I am definitely putting it on my item of a book. Like, you don't always want to give people books like, here's a self-help book for you, you know, but there are people you can give these kinds of things to
This
who would
is more
understand.
of This is more than a self-help.
Oh, no, but I know it's more than the self-help, but you know what I mean, how everyone loves to, oh yeah, I just read this book and it's the most marvelous book ever, you know. But the thing is, with your book, it's the intention and what it's all about is quite different. It's yeah.
All our choices are our choices, and they're genuine, and they come from the heart.
Mm-hmm.
And we need to work on relationships. They are not random. Every relationship brings you a lesson, for good or for ill.
Mm-hmm.
You have to look at the vibration.
Absolutely.
How did I bring this to myself, and what is the lesson?
That's important, and your readers are going to get a lot of different things out of this book. Like you were talking about the portals, the libraries of memory, the halls of memory, and also, and actually another thing that you also talk, you're saying, you know, with the Christian side of things, you know, the number 666 has this demonic meaning, rather like I as a Jew, I know it doesn't affect us, but of course numbers are very important, right? So you have a new understanding, a reinterpretation of the number 666 for those who would like, you know, what is that?
Well, it's, you have to give me a minute, I'm sorry.
That's okay. You can take 2
The
minutes.
shadow. It's a shadow, not an evil. It shows imbalance, because 666 is Virgo. It's the number of healing,
Oh,
and it shows that you're out of balance. So the mind, the ego, and material focuses are disconnected from the heart. So it's showing you that you need realignment. When fear-based interpretations are removed, then 666 becomes an invitation to restore your harmony,
right.
to get balance between spirit and material.
Mm-hmm.
It's a Virgo, and it represents healing.
Mm-hmm.
So that's good to remember.
It is good to remember. It is, because it's had such a negative connotation for people. It's like, oh, even people who don't believe in all, like, oh, it's 666, that kind of thing. It becomes like it's
shadow work.
yeah.
Well, shadow work. I'll tell you, Frank Albert told us a lot about shadow work.
Yes.
And it begins with compassion, not judgment.
Mm.
When we say do something in our life and years later we regret it, then we need to go back into that, what we did, and look at where we were. What was our mind? What were we feeling? What did we fear? Why did we do such a thing? And then acknowledge where we were and forgive ourselves. And that relieves dark emotions.
Yeah, and that's a kind of a life review, isn't it, really, within our lifetimes? And I know. Well, I'm going to go back into with Judaism. Every morning we would wake up and say, "Thank you for returning my soul to my body. Great is your faith in me." And then at night we do something called the bedtime Shema, which is to do a review of the day and to bring in the angels to protect us and all that kind of thing, And it's that cycle,
You can review the day and you can see a person that maybe you snapped at or maybe you had less patience with. And if they're a friend of yours, you're supposed to apologize. Louise told us we have 24 hours to make amends.
Oh.
And it's locked into our Akashic records. We have 24 hours to cry over a death. And then we let it go because the person that died needed to move on. You can miss them and feel sad, but then we have to let it go. I think that was a great rule for me. It really helped me. I said, I can cry today because I'm within my 24 hours. And then it just felt like a whole different experience.
Yeah. No, yeah. And they say that grief takes different, times. Of course, I if it comes up again, though, what do you do? I mean, people are still.
If it comes up again, you have to ask what your part in it is, why you recreated that for yourself, and what are you still hanging on to or didn't let go of.
Okay.
It really can't come up again if you have forgiven yourself.
Okay, that's a big part of it. Then the forgiveness.
Yeah, and we really have trouble forgiving ourselves.
Yeah. So, there's so much that people can discover. You in your book, you describe things like portals, libraries of memory. We talked about the Akashic records, and what is a hall? What is a hall of harmony? And what are these?
Music.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. Yeah, I like that.
Whole chapter. I was going to tell you that because I know you love music.
I do.
It's vibration. It's music. It's the higher levels of music. As a matter of fact, do you know Richard Schulman?
Oh no.
famous musician.
Yeah.
And he works with the higher levels. And he wrote on my book that it's the best description of harmony that he had ever read. So I must be doing something right.
Oh no, yes, absolutely. And well, music is universal, and the music of the spheres.
The music of the spheres.
The music of the spheres, exactly.
Universal.
It's absolutely universal. Absolutely, because everything is a vibration, and music is a tremendous vibration.
And the numbers come from music. Did you know that?
Yes.
Our numbers come from music.
Yep.
Music is, I think,
it's mathematical.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's great to know. I love it. It's very freeing for me to know that.
Yeah. It is, and yeah, and also when you're talking about truth again, there's truth. There's one truth. There's not my truth and your truth or whatever. There's just truth,
No truth.
right?
The Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. My truth, your truth, and the truth.
Well, yeah. Well, for me,
And,
I just have the Father, but but that's okay, and that's the other thing. All the different manifestations of beliefs or whatever people have, there is a line of truth through everything.
mm-hmm.
So, oh, that's cool. That's cool. So yeah, so I think. We've got. I was talking to you a little bit about Joni Petrie before the show. About, you asked me about astrology, so I knew, and she has been saying that. I think I don't want to misquote her. That's for sure, because I'm good at that, But with this 2026, around August, things are going to start making a positive shift.
Yeah. By the time we get to October, my month is October
Okay.
because of the astrology. Remember, I do Western astrology.
Yeah, she does
So
a Vedic.
behind her, yep. But we have 4 powerful months: April, July, the end of the summer, which would be the fall equinox, and October, November.
Mhm.
Those we're growing along. The biggest challenge will be this year?
No.
Finances. Money is going to change. I'm writing an article for Substack now. So if some of your listeners go to Substack, they can see what I'm writing about.
Now, Substack is where that's so.
Online, Substack.com is people's writing.
Yeah. Okay. And I'll put that in the description box for people to go there.
Yeah, I write in the astrology section, and I'm finishing up writing about we're going to have financial changes. We're going to have financial changes and leadership changes.
Mm-hmm.
I will use Prince Charles for this one because he's on his deathbed, as we know.
Mm.
And the question is, will there be a monarchy or not be? Will that be part of what we're letting go of? It's been fascinating to watch that.
Yes. And William and Kate are pretty normal people, the way they travel on planes with their kids and, carry their luggage and, they're
very
down to earth. Yeah. Very down to earth.
They don't put on airs.
Not at all. No. They're normal. Yeah. No,
there's not going to be any more. We're not going to have any more voting because we're going to know. We're going to go inside and know. That's in my book.
Wow.
Caught at the Edge. That explains everything about the new world.
Now, Caught at the Edge is going to be released this week.
The 23rd.
So, yes.
And that's what it's about, is the 3-eye atlas. The 3-eye atlas actually crashes on Earth. And it shows how that awakens humanity to another way of living. And then it shows you the way of living. It's really fascinating because we had a comet hit the Earth in 2013, and it actually did some damage.
Yes.
It landed in Siberia.
In Russia.
So when I was writing this book, I did my meditation, and I said, where am I supposed to have this land? And I heard Siberia.
Huh, again.
I had no idea that there had already been one there.
Oh.
So when I went back and I read about the actual event, it helped write the book. It was so fascinating to write that book.
Okay.
It was my first novel. I'm very proud of it.
Yeah, it's caught at the edge. I that's another book. I definitely I will be ordering that as well. I'm going to be doing a lot of reading. But the thing is, what you're writing about, and you're doing it so succinctly, I feel, these are universal truths. and you're bringing them. You're bringing them from, we've all, the universal truths are universal truths. They're universal. They're forever. But the thing is, though, to bring them into a place where people can access them in an not in a simple, in an easy way, that they can
And they
understand it.
reflect,
Yeah,
they reflect on their own soul.
yeah,
Lifts the veil of fear.
yeah. It's valuable. It's valuable to have something that you can just go to and say, "Ooh, what's going on here," and
Well, it's really going to add to humanity's awakening. That's what it's intended to do.
and to dispel the fear.
And it was born from within me, from moments when I went through profound experiences. In 2023, I was in Florida, out to lunch with my girlfriend over at Deerfield Beach, and we both wanted lobster. And we ordered the most delicious lobster salads, and all of a sudden, my face fell.
Oh,
And Betty looked at me and she said, "Your face just fell." So she called 911, and that's when I had the stroke. I was in ICU for 5 days. So what did I do there? I went inside and I listed all the things I still wanted to do on the planet Earth.
right.
That's what I was doing at ICU. And I was there for 5 days, and then I had to go to rehabilitation because that's normal. But
Of
luckily,
course.
I didn't have anything happen with my body because it was a Uranus moment. And Uranus in my chart, that affected the thyroid, the throat, and my speech.
Oh,
And that's the only part of my body that got affected. So I feel very blessed with that.
well, we're all very blessed, Elizabeth, to have you, able to continue with the work that you're doing, because, like you said, you still have things you want to do. So, what are some of those? No, you've written, "Caught at the Edge," your first your first fiction, your first novel.
Yeah.
Yeah, and what other things do you want to still do?
Well, I'd like to bring out the knowledge of the new spiritual chakras to the world. I don't know how I'm going to do that, but that's what I've asked to do, to help everybody see beyond the boundaries of Earth and to grow with their soul and to be able to be in control of what they're doing every moment, and to understand the wonderful experience of spiritual awareness, and that it is real, whether it's Jewish, Buddhist, Allah, or the Lord. Whatever it is, everybody has to be aware, and they're aware in their own time and in their own way.
Yeah. No.
So we're going beyond traditional, and we are having important shifts occurring in humanity. We are awakening to the vastness of the universe. It's vast, Joyce, really. Active consciousness evolves. And it matters because humanity is being asked to live it out. You have to live it out. That's how you grow. That's how you learn.
And that's why we come
to college, but our soul takes us beyond the veil.
It does. And
something else I want to say.
Yes.
Remember this always. Logic is important. Emotions are important. Emotions are more important
than logic.
I didn't have to say that.
No, yeah, but I know. I just said it because I needed to say it.
The emotions take us beyond mortal boundaries into the feelings, the shifts, the connection, the compassion, the unity, the oneness of everything.
And yet, in on the planet now, if you are an emotional person, if you are sensitive, if you do react from emotion rather than logic, often that's seen as a weakness, and it's not.
No, of course
But
not.
you know what I'm saying, yeah.
You say that you write and sing. Where does that come from?
Mm.
It comes from the veil, beyond the veil.
Yeah.
It comes from the universe. And they give it to you and open up your heart.
Yeah.
And then you come from the heart instead of the brain.
Yeah.
And that helps you to grow.
Well, it helps to recognize what other people are going through, number one, and I think that's very important. And
And it gives the other people too, because your song could open somebody else's heart.
agreed.
And that's a gift.
That is a gift. That is a gift. Yeah, I have a friend who she has the empathy effect. Her name's Kim Smiley, and she does this. She is spreading empathy. Helping people to open up to empathy. That's her raison d'etre, and I think that's a wonderful thing.
All part of emotions.
Hello? Are you there?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
But that's all part of emotions.
Part of the emotions, yes, absolutely. Important.
I think it's very exciting to be included in this human awakening, because it's really showing us how connected we are.
It is. It is. This is an incredible time to be born, to be living.
We all chose it. We have to remember that.
Mm-hmm.
We chose this experience because we want to be a part of humanity's awakening beyond the body.
Beyond.
A greater truth.
Yeah.
The soul remembers everything, even when the mind forgets.
Oh, that's a T-shirt.
That is a T-shirt.
That's a T-shirt or a coffee cup, but it's it's really important. And I want everybody to go to Amazon. I'm going to put the description, the information in the description box, and to get Mysteries Revealed, and also Caught at the Edge. And I want to, I want to talk to you forever, but I have a limited time here. But I want to play a song for you before we go out, and certainly hang out after the song, so I can just say a personal goodbye to you. Adios before you sign off. And this is a song called "Love Will Light the Way." And it's written by Jason Davis. And actually, he goes to my synagogue, but he's an amazing singer and songwriter. And he and his wife are spreading a lot of light. And I think you'll really enjoy this. This is for you, Elizabeth. I'm going to dedicate this to you because you are showing how love will light the way. Okay. So, so hang. And do you want to say one thing before I play this song before we sign out? Oh, I like it. Oh, what's your dog's name?
Ella May.
Ella May. Well, Ella May has lots to say. I love it.
She's named after my grandmother. She's a baby Pomeranian. And
it's funny, your dog's Ella May. Well, I was named my official name, my on my birth certificate is Eleanor, so that was after my grandmother. So. That's kind of funny.
My grandmother was Ella, so they were close. There you go.
There you go. And my grandmother's best friend was named Ella. Isn't that it? Isn't that all? See, it's all interesting. When you see it and you look at it, you say, wow, that's kind of a synchronous thing, but it's a fun thing, isn't it?
Yep.
So I'm going to play Love Will Light the Way, and I want to thank you, Elizabeth Joyce, for coming on this program and lighting the way. And certainly you're going to pick up your book, and I'll have all the information there. I want to thank all our listeners as well for joining us here for this amazing talk. And one maybe the only one you really need to listen to. Yeah. Anyway, hang tight, and this Love Will Light the Way. This is Jason Davis, a wonderful songwriter, singer-songwriter.
I see you lost in the darkness, and you can't find your way. Your heart is broken, and you've lost all your faith. But sooner or later, love will light your way, and you've given up on hope, and you can't seem to breathe. And your world's crashing down on you, trying to wash you away. And your world's gone black, and there's no color anymore. And you're out there drifting a million miles from shore. Your shipwrecked heart, it's gonna drift in the night. And all the stars meant to sold you, there's no rescue in sight. But sooner or later, love comes and goes. Darkness, it's just the absence of light. In your heart, it's a candle, let it illuminate your life. 'Cause sooner or later, love will light your way, light your way.
You are listening to the Joyce Aldrich Show from Toronto, Canada. Paranormal and UFO edition. Yes, we call them UFOs.